It's time for the absolutely... I'm on my way! Completely! I'm almost there! Random! Why are there so many stairs? Podcast! Oh, jeez! With Andrew Rhodes.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast for Saturday, August 20th, 2022. My name is Professor Sherman T. Clump, and I'm once again in charge. That's right, Clump in charge. And Andrew wanted me to tell you this week he's going to be talking about the following topics. The French dub actress has announced that she's also work over fan dubs. Honestly, this is just horrible, just so sad. HBO Max is removing a bunch of its titles, and it's not exactly going too well with everybody. The Hunter x Hunter author has opened up about his health issues, and honestly, it's really quite heartbreaking. Tiger and Bunny is getting a second season and sharing new visuals in the next set of episodes, so that's kind of interesting. You can finally calculate how much your game's actually worth, the true value from its price to its length, which is actually a pretty good idea nowadays, especially when you're counting all your pennies and you're watching all your dollars, like Professor Club is. And the voice actress for Luffy says that this is going to be her finale for her career. And honestly, that's a pretty good career when you actually look at it. And all this and more this week on the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast with Andrew Rhodes. I'm Professor Clump. Let me just do Andrew's little so-and-so things here that he always talks about. Let's see here. What's the song and dance? Here we go. Song and dance. If you're in the market for oddities, collectibles, weird stuff, what have you, come check out ARHOADS-2012 over on eBay. There's a wide variety of stuff for sale, from DVDs, video games, weird stuff, trading cards, action figure parts, what have you. Andrew's got them all for sale over there on his eBay page. Doesn't sell sandwiches though, but oh well, that's his problem, not mine. That's ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. There's also the Etsy shop that he's opened up too. Wants me to mention that. Wants me to very well mention that in the opening here. Just allow me to do the opening. Let's see here. Oh yes, it's Simple Design by Andrew. Really wonderful place where you can go and get yourself some templates you can use on Canva. It's a really cool. It's a really cool little Illustrator system. It's really cool. You can do it online, so it's really neat. You can set up an account in a couple seconds. It's not that bad. Andrew has one. It's really cool. Yeah, made Professor Close something really cool too, and I really do like it. All right, so yes, it's Simple Design by Andrew. There's Canva templates, and invitations, printables, coloring books, what have you. It's a bunch of cool stuff. So go check that out. Simple Design by Andrew. Link in the description. There's also his t-shirt thing. Just says Andrew's t-shirt thing. Says here on the card here. Just says Andrew's t-shirt thing. Go check that out. There's a link for that in the description as well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go talk to him over at Otaku Rhodes over there on Twitter. And the Web Designer 18 Facebook page. There's also a Facebook page for his Etsy shop as well. Wanted me to mention that. Seriously, there's an entire card that I'm reading right off of here. It says, Professor Clump, make sure you mention the following, otherwise you will never be doing the openings again. Oh, well, I'm mentioning them. There's also Patreon, patreon.com/webdesigner18. And there's also the Ko-fi page. He also wants me to apologize on behalf of him, because he keeps forgetting to update him. Oh, well, don't worry. Professor Clump keeps forgetting to update his social media all the time, too. Yes, but there's definitely that. And, that's about it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to turn it back over to Andrew now so that he can talk about it. He should be back from the bathroom any second now. But Clump was in charge, and this is the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. Enjoy! Alright, so thanks to Professor Clump for doing the introduction there for me. So this is the part where we used to go about how my week went. So for those of you that don't know, Thursday was my birthday. Yay! I'm another year older! Yeah, Thursday was my birthday. This entire week's actually been, I really want to say a hit and miss in a way. It hasn't really been bad, but honestly, it could be better. Just in a wide variety of things. There's some personal stuff going on that I can't really get into, for varying reasons, honestly. It's not that I don't want to talk about it, it's that there's varying reasons why I can't. So, just have to take that for what it is. I've been working on trying to get a single sale on my Etsy shop. I have not. I'm being serious. I have not had a single sale yet on my Etsy shop. Not a single sale. Not a single person has bought a thing from my shop yet. And I am trying. I am trying, mind you. But not a sale, not a drop, nothing. Etsy has made more money off of me than I've made off of it so far, and that's not a good thing. But yeah, I do have, like Professor Klump did mention, I did, and for somebody out there that's wondering, the inside joke is it was actually me. I can do a really good Eddie Murphy impersonation if I, really put my mind to it. I can. I mean, it's really simple. It's just, it's just very similar to Professor Klump impersonation. It's not that very difficult. And Klump once again in charge. Yeah. But my mom asked if I could do Professor Klump again. She misses hearing him. But yeah, so this week's just been kind of fun. My mom did get me something cool, though, for my birthday. I got a bag of cheese curls that I'm probably going to eat today, find a movie or something. I'll put Paycheck in again. I could watch that again. I could watch Paycheck, that Ben Affleck, Uma Thurman movie. That was pretty good. But yeah, so this week's just been weird for weird's sake. Just in the general scheme of things, it's just been a weird week. Like I said, I've mostly been working trying to get my Etsy shop to at least get a sale. One single fucking sale. I honestly don't know what I'm doing wrong, though, with it. But yeah, so that was basically Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I drove my uncle around for a little bit. So that was fun. Thursday was my birthday. Drove him quick, a couple slots in the morning. Then I had to bring him back because he had an appointment he had to be at, which is fine. What the hell else? Oh, yeah, then Thursday basically was my birthday, which is kind of cool. Mom got me a nice little ice cream cake. We actually like this. We came upon this years ago. We don't do it all the time either. Most of the time we only do it like it's a birthday or if it's on sale. And honestly, it was just really cool. There's I think we'll probably finish it off either today or tomorrow. I had my favorite dinner for dinner Thursday night, and I still have enough left for one more shot from the leftovers, so that might be lunch. I should hold till Monday. I think I should hold till Monday. I can make that Monday for lunch. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, it should hold till Monday. That should be fine. But yeah, so that was basically my week in a nutshell. There really wasn't that much that happened in the grand scheme of things. Cleaned up a little bit. Like I said, I mostly just spent the week trying to get my Etsy shop off the freaking ground. It kind of feels like it's stalling out, like I can't get it to go up very high. But yeah, so there's that. But otherwise, it's going to be pretty cool. But I do want to mention something that I forgot last week. So my mom said something really, really weird last week. And she's like, oh, I probably made your podcast this week. And I'm like, oh my God, I completely forgot about it. I didn't forget this time. I didn't forget this time. This would be something that, in all honesty, if I would actually say this, I would have to turn my weeb card in. I swear that I would have to turn my weeb card in. So, for those of you out there, but I'm about to say this, and I know my mom's probably cringing like, oh God, here it comes. God damn it, he didn't forget. Nope, not this time. They didn't forget this time. So, I got my mom hooked on Stargate. First, I got her hooked on SG-1. Now I'm starting to get her hooked on Atlantis. I will not get her hooked on Universe, even I hated Universe. I thought that was a fucking shit show. Because we were watching it on Pluto TV, which is really cool. If you haven't heard about Pluto TV, it's basically like internet cable. It's free internet cable, to be precise. You can watch shows on there. They actually have stuff set by the hour. They have movies. There's even an on-demand section where you can literally pull everything up. I actually watched Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 this week. So, really cool. So I got her hooked on Stargate. I was so hoping to show her the finale of SG-1, not the movies. We've watched those. In fact, I hate Continuum and Arc of Truth. Arc of Truth is a hit and miss, but Continuum just fucking sucks. Oh my God, does that suck. Ugh. But anyway, what was I getting on with? Oh, yeah. So I wanted to show her an ending, and I found out that we can watch the we can actually watch it in the on-demand section, which is also free. They just integrate ads into it, which is fine. I will gladly watch a commercial if it means I can watch it for free. That's fine. I don't care. So, I love this. I showed her Unending. She liked it. To be fair, I showed her clips already, so being able to show her the whole episode was great. And then we're backtracking for some of the episodes that we missed, because either Pluto decided, like, for the one, hey, we're not going to show you the second part, we're going to jump into the 2 freaking movies, and then we're going to put the second part of the episode you just watched after the movies are done, which would be like 11 o'clock at night, so kiss off. I'm like, God damn you. So, yeah. But, we got to watch it, and at the one point, they dropped this ball. And it was like a flash grenade in a way. It startled them. And my mom goes, and I cannot believe she said this, because if I would say this, I would lose my weeb card. I would lose my weeb card. There would be no way I could ever show my face in the anime community again. So I did not say this, and I want that on the record. I did not say this. In fact, when she said this, I actually had to pause the show because I was laughing so hard I could not believe it. So my mom goes and says, when this ball drops on the ground and she sees it, she goes, "Oh, that's a Digiball! They use that to catch Pokemon!" I know right now she's probably listening to this going, "You son of a bitch." And in all fairness, you can say that, but it was just, I had to tell her no, but I had to stop laughing because I'm like, oh my God. If I would say, imagine going to an anime convention and you see a Pokeball and you go, "Oh, that's a Digiball! They use that to catch Pokemon!" I can see me being massacred and being hung from the ceiling for disrespecting their favorite religions at this point. Because Pokemon's basically its own little religion at this point. I could see myself basically being strung alive. And all of a sudden, she's just like, "What? What?" And I'm like, "You don't even know what you did!" She goes, "No!" Then when I explained, she goes, "Oh, well, I didn't know." Now, to be fair, my mom does know Pokemon. To a point, but she does know Pokemon. So I could easily say, okay, I may not have showed her what a Pokeball is. However, I'm pretty sure I showed her what a Pokeball is. I just couldn't believe that. But yeah, so, that happened. That happened. But yes, I didn't forget it this time. Alright, but yeah, let's get into this stuff. But yeah, I did get some really cool stuff done for my birthday. Like I said, my mom got me a bag of cheese curls, a thing of Twizzlers, and you know that Chiclets gum? They made like the tiny versions. It was called Tiny Size. I actually did look it up. Yeah, they remade those again. It was really cool. It was worth getting it. I enjoyed that. I ate that on my birthday. That was really fun. But yeah, let's get into this podcast this week, and let's get started, shall we? Alright, so this is actually kind of a sad and interesting story at the same time. So, the French dub actress has said that she's lost her work over doing some fan dubs. So, I'm going to probably mispronounce this name. I know it because I don't know. I'm not very fluent in French. So, I want to apologize right off the bat here if I, at all, okay, mispronounce this, okay? So, Crunchyroll gave a statement informing everybody, according to Anime News Network, on the matter that Anna Lazaria, or Lazaray, I can't, it's Lauzeray, hyphen Gishi is no longer contracted by Crunchyroll for dubbing roles. They can't comment on reasons for her departure, but do wish her the best in her career. However, she was given permission to tell her fans via social media what the hell is going on here, which she did. So, anime is dubbed into languages all over the world. Obviously, we know this. It's dubbed into Portuguese, Spanish, English, obviously. It's dubbed everywhere. In fact, the ironic part is that there's actually some dubs that are a lot funnier, even if you can't understand the words. It's just kind of funnier for some reason, and I don't know why. However, she was well known for playing a character in Classroom of the Elite. Kikyo Kushida. And unfortunately, she's also Chizuru Mizuhara in Rent a Girlfriend and Iris in Fire Force. So keep in mind, these are the French dubs. Okay? The French dubs. So she was a French dub for Classroom of the Elite, for Rent a Girlfriend, and Fire Force, and Food Wars. She was Momo Akinogabo Akine Gakibo, or what? There's a lot of times I cannot pronounce these words. I cannot pronounce these names in Food Wars. However, she put up on her Twitter thread saying that she's been fired from her job in Classroom of the Elite. According to her, Crunchyroll made the decision because she worked on the Chainsaw Man fan dub. So, yeah, it actually kind of sucks. The actress claims that she tried to find a more amicable solution than being let go. She said she could remove the fan dubs, but it didn't work for her. Unfortunately, she's miffed by the decision. She made sure to request that fans don't harass the actress who takes over her Classroom of the Elite role, which, yeah, obviously you can't really go to town. Just because they're fired doesn't give you a carte blanche to go after whoever takes over. You know, you can't do that. Crunchyroll gave their statement on the matter, like I said, but they, don't want to comment further. But this is the description they gave for Classroom of the Elite, though. Basically, Kiyotaka Aniokoji has just enrolled at Tokyo Kudo Isuki Senior High School. These names are starting to become as obscure as titles in Japanese anime at this point. Where it said that 100% of the students going to college or find employment. My God! 100%? There's not a 1% slacker somewhere? But he ends up in class 1D, which is full of all the school's problem children. There you go. It's Welcome Back Kotter in anime form. But yeah, you can read. I'm not going to go through and read this whole thing. But yeah, you can read it. But this basically just brought back to me. I don't know if anybody out there has ever saw this interview. So there was an interview that Sean Schemmel did. I should say done. But yeah, he did this interview. It was during a convention. And a fan in the audience asked what his thoughts were on Dragon Ball Z Abridged. And, of course, being the guy that he is, you always figure, when you see him, he's always has a smile on his face. He always seems happy and content. And, of course, he looks like he's pissed off. And they ask him, and he just goes to fucking town. Bad-mouthing the series, saying that it should not be, made. If you like it, that's fine, but it's something that should not be done. They are taking away jobs. They are ruining the industry because they're doing this. And this literally just brought that, when I read this, it brought this entire interview right back into my face. I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell? From what I had read, and I have looked at other places too, in regards to this, she actually did ask that, could it be removed? Apparently they were not, it wasn't, didn't work out on her end. That wasn't an amicable solution for Crunchyroll. That was basically their break. I was like, no, that's not going to work for us because you're doing fan dubs. And she had made the comment that a lot of people, especially over in France, and I did not know this, that a lot of the fan dubs, the ones that do those, do actually go on. Like, a lot of people that work on those do go on to get actual professional jobs in the industry because of it. So, yeah, that does kind of suck. And in all honesty, you could have panned this off as like, she could have just used an acronym, and they would have never known it was her. But, I mean, because technically, like I said, I just literally proved that at the start of this. How many of you actually thought that I had Professor Clump in this, recording this? I don't have Eddie Murphy in here. I can just do a really good impersonation. There's a line in the sand that you can draw sometimes, but obviously you could just, she could have denied it and said, no, it's just somebody that sounds like me, and just have like a freaking acronym, unless there's a law that requires whoever works on this can't have an acronym or something, but that would be bullshit, because there's people that do that, like stage names and that, to prevent themselves from, having their personal lives completely upended. Look at Austin St. John. That's his, that is his acting name. That's his acting name. It's not his real name. So, yeah, go figure. But that's what they know him as, because that's what's always on the credits. You could say, oh, well, it's a person, yeah, but no, your name's so-and-so, though. Yeah, oh, nice to meet you. It's just a totally different person, then. But, yeah. But this does suck, though. I do feel bad for her. She's hoping that this story will encourage others to not, be harassed by this. Hopefully it'll inspire others. Maybe it'll change some stuff. But yeah, it does suck. But then again, to be fair, it's Crunchyroll. They have their head firmly up their ass. So, go for that. There is a really good comment, though, down here in the article. You can pull it right up. It's basically going, they're saying that, they're kind of confused. She did a fan dub for an anime that hasn't been released yet. Did she just dub a trailer, or did she dub something stolen, pirated? And I agree with that. What the hell's the deal here? They're not alluding to this. And I like how they're just laying into Otaku USA, going, well, you're not telling us the full story. They may not have the full story. Because from what I had read, and like I said, I did check multiple sources on this, Crunchyroll gave her permission to tell the fans why she was let go. But keep in mind, they could easily look at her and say, we can know your social media accounts. We know where your accounts are. We know what they are. We will monitor the hell out of those. If you openly say it to public why you were let go, like the exact reason why, we will come after you. They probably had her sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. So basically, you can tell them, this is why I was fired, but this is the exact line you have to say. If you say anything other than this, you are violating the NDA. That is how a lot of these companies will do business like this. In their minds, it's, well, we can't exactly figure it out, but at the same time, because we don't need the fans jumping down our throats, this is what you're going to tell them. It's pretty much like I said, what they should have did the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock slap thing. Instead of, making a big spectacle out of it, what they should have did was play it off as a joke. They should have, called them both in. Literally just called them both in the next day to the office of somebody and just go, hey, that was great. Like, in public, like, hey, that was great. You two did wonderful. That was beautiful. Worked like a charm. The minute the doors close, that's when you lay into them. Okay, the both of you fucked up big time and you both know it. That's what that's what they should have done for that. But with something like this, we'll give you permission to say why you were let go to a point. So, like, let's say, for example, I worked on something and, I was let go. Let's say it was highly classified. They're going to give me a story that I'm going to have to use if I want to look for another job, because you just can't have a blank spot and you're looking for employment. All of a sudden be like, well, what'd you do from this point to this point? Oh, I can't say. What do you mean I can't say? No, they'll give you a fake story like, you were doing this, and if you deviate off of this story, we will come after you. So it's not that Crunchyroll, it's not that Otaku USA didn't give the full story. It's like Crunchyroll probably isn't going to allow the full story to come out. Because keep in mind, as far as they're concerned, they're going to keep a tight niche on this. They're going to they're going to keep this thing so close-fisted, it's not going to be funny. But I do agree, though. Fan dubs can be innocent dubbing an anime that doesn't have an official dub in given language. They're often used, though, in pirated content or to change the content due to the dissatisfaction with the official dub or as parodies. Unfortunately, as been pointed out by a lot of people, different countries, different laws, obviously makes sense. However, for Crunchyroll to just basically go to town on her, I think they personally probably know that there's other ones that are doing this that probably did have like a pseudonym. Like a pseudo name that they're going under for the fan dubs so that they don't get busted. And they're stringing her out as, here's our example. They're going to Judas her in order to get the rest of them in line. And that, to me, is what it feels like. It's not a good thing. It's honestly kind of sad. But, yeah, it sucks either way, but at this point, there's really nothing you can do about it. But, yeah, it does suck either way. Honestly, I don't think she's going to have an issue finding work because I guarantee you there's a group of people out there that are looking for dubbers in different languages that'll probably go, hey, you pissed off Crunchyroll? Welcome aboard. Because they do. There are a lot of companies that do not like Crunchyroll right now. And if they have a chance to snatch somebody up that Crunchyroll let go, they'll probably grab them. And so I don't think she's going to have an issue finding work. They'll probably look at her and go, look, look, we don't really want you doing this. If you want to do it under a surname, do it under a pseudonym. That way we have no knowledge of this, basically plausible deniability. But yeah, I would have just did under a pseudonym or something. That's what I would have done. But yeah, oh well, it is what it is. So if you haven't been around social media the last couple days, you might not be aware of the massive firestorm that is erupting from this dumpster fire that is the merger of HBO Max and Discovery. So this is not going well. And not going well is me being as nice about this as I can be. Now, do I really give two shits personally? No, I don't. In fact, I really wish a lot of people would stop whining about this. Personally, there's one person that I talked to on Twitter, and she's losing sleep over this. And I actually am thinking to myself, let it the hell go. Well, they got screwed over. Yes, she was mostly upset because a lot of people got let go. First off, when it comes to a lot of shows, writers, creators, and stuff like that, they usually know it's a contract job. So basically, they could say, hey, we'll have X amount of days that you'll be here, or you'll be on contract for X amount of weeks, X amount of months. They can end the contract early if, say, funding dries up, if, say, the show sucks or starts going downhill. They can end the contract early. And there's usually a clause built into those contracts that say that. There's a clause built into every contract that basically says that, if given under our discretion, there's an issue or something, we can end this contract. So, for those people that are losing their jobs over at HBO Max right now, first off, I guarantee you they'll find something else. Because they'll have HBO Max on their resume, they were probably there for a while, so there's a good chance they'll probably get rehired. If not, they're probably getting a nice little severance package to go away. So they'll be okay for a little while. I'm not going to say forever. They'll be okay for a little while. Now, that's what I got to say on that. As far as this is concerned, this is what's pissing off a lot of people. And honestly, again, not something we can really do anything about. So, and I know somebody out there is probably like, how come you're not doing a rant video on this? You need to do a rant video on this, because yelling is not going to make a difference in this case. This is honestly business, and this is economics 101. So, in economics, this is going to be your free economics lesson, boys and girls, so pay attention now, okay? In economics, when a company and two companies merge, they will look to see what's profitable for one company and what's profitable for another company, what works for company A and what works for company B. And then they're going to see if there's any way that they can merge what works together and then eliminate what doesn't work. Here's an example. Let's say I own a business that sells blankets and pillows. And I have a shit ton of sales, but I have piss poor marketing. As in, like, my sales are basically because of word of mouth or just people really find them comfortable, but you don't see advertisements for them. Then I get bought by, let's say, a company that sells beds and couches. Now all of a sudden they're like, okay, this is an example, by the way. Now they're going to look at this and go, well, you have really good sales, but this doesn't work. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to eliminate this, and we're just going to integrate your stuff right into ours, total buyout. For companies that are merging, you'll have, let's say, distribution sucks. Well, they'll fix that. They'll get rid of they'll upgrade the distribution. Let's say you have too many employees, and let's say your store is about the size of I'm going to go like the size of a Target. And all of a sudden, you merge with a company that's 2 times the size of Target. Like, a single Target store. It's like double the size of a Target store. And they look at you and they're like, well, look, we have way too many employees. We got to, we're going to have to let some of them go. So they're going to look and find the ones that don't work and that aren't up to snuff. Those are the ones they're going to let go. It's usually going to be, ironically, sadly, most of the time it's the ones that have been there for a while because they'll figure they can find something else. Or it'll be the ones that, because there is that old saying, last one hired, first one fired, which is kind of what happened to me when I lost my job. But that's beside the point. When it comes to companies like this, with HBO Max and Discovery, we're both streaming services, we both have content. Now it's basically looking at this and saying what works and what doesn't work. It's pretty much similar to what Fox and Disney went through when Disney bought out Fox. What works and what doesn't work. What can we get rid of and what don't we get rid of? Now, granted, I think Disney mostly just rolled Fox into their freaking crap hole, but you get my point. But HBO Max is basically cleaning house. They're getting rid of stuff left, right, and sideways. And it's not even just on HBO Max. It's Cartoon Network's stuff as well. Because Cartoon Network's official YouTube channel, they got rid of a lot of videos, clips, and stuff like that. It's all gone. Probably because, and this is where I can go with the Fox and Disney thing again. When Disney bought Fox, the licenses that were on to other networks, like Family Guy was on Adult Swim. I think TBS still had some episodes airing. A lot of those licenses, when they expire, that's it. It's automatic, can't be renewed no matter what. Because they don't want it on this, or this anymore. It's got to solely be on this. That's what happens when you integrate 2 companies like this together. They're going to look and go, well, you gave permission for them to use this, yeah, and for this place to use this, yes, and for them to use this, yes. Okay. We don't want that anymore. That's not going to work for you. So when they're not just going to up and end it. Now, granted, they could have. They're just not going to up and end it. But when the license runs out, we're not renewing it. Now, to be fair, a lot of times, and this is the backroom stuff that we, the public, don't always have privy to, unless they are openly transparent, which companies are never openly transparent. What they probably did was, okay, so the licenses will expire on these dates. That's when they're not going to be renewed. So once they're done, they're done. Let them know so they can start making preparations to put something else on in that time slot. Because we're not going to renew the license. They're not going to have access to it anymore. And that's how it's going to go. So for this sort of combination we have here, with HBO Max clearing house by removing 36 titles from its service, they've gotten rid of like old Sesame Street episodes that Discovery is probably looking at them and going, we don't want this, we don't want this, and we don't want this. Because this is stuff that's not helping you, it's hurting you. Now, granted, HBO Max is going to And we're not going to come into this with, 5 elephants on our back because of you. We're going to come into this, we're going to shoot 2 of those elephants, we're going to cook the carcasses, and then we're going to start moving along with what's left. Well, we're going to start cutting off the disease stuff here. And I know it's a bad analogy, but you get the point. So they've removed 36 titles from their service earlier this week. According to Variety, they've removed some old Sesame Street episodes, which really pissed people off. OKKO is gone. Pretty much I think almost all of the Cartoon Network stuff that they had on there. Infinity Train, OKKO, a lot of that stuff's gone. The YouTube channels have officially been killed off or had the stuff removed. So it does suck. Now, that's the thing that bothers me, though, is that they're getting rid of, like, the, YouTube channels and that. Now, the only thing I can think of with that is that they gave the creators of those shows an opportunity. Hey, do you want to be part of the new lineup? Do you want to be part of this? Or not? And they might have just said, you know what, our contract's up at the end of the month, or our contract's up, at this point, we're just gonna just cut us now. Just cut us out. Because a lot of times, so I'm going back with this contract thing. A lot of times with the contracts, they will look at it and go, well, here's the deal. Yes, it does suck that they can't just up and say, hey, we want to stay on here. And I know I'm pausing. I'm trying to figure out and come up with a way to word this so it makes sense. But basically, they have the contract. Okay? They have the contract. Let's say the producer of the show or the creator of the show had the contract and they signed it, and it basically said that so long as it's on this streaming service, okay, that, you will be able to stay here. Now, that streaming service just got bought out by this streaming service, or they're merging with this streaming service. Now the contract changes, so they have to come back in, they got to reread the contract and say, do we want to stay with this contract, or do we want to change it up? Majority of the times, they will give them this is how much time you have left in your contract. You can exit the contract now with no penalty, no fee, no penalty, no fault of yours, because we're changing the contract. If you're, in all honesty, that's usually how it works. If they're changing the contract all of a sudden, they will usually give them an out and say, look, you're not comfortable with this new contract. You don't want to deal with us anymore. It's fine. We understand. We'll make this as amicable as possible. Here's the door, and we won't have any hard feelings. So there's a good chance that could have been what happened here with some of this stuff. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know, because there's not a lot of information that's coming out here on this that I can find, other than people just losing their shit. So, they removed, like I said, about 200 old Sesame Street episodes, a bunch of HBO Max originals, which I'm going to get into here in a moment. But yes, like I said, there's basically, they could have went to the creators and said, hey, do you want to be part of this? If not, we'll end your contract now. It's fine. No hard feelings. And because they want to have a fresh start. And it's understandable. So they've gotten rid of a bunch of stuff, including several Warner Brothers films, HBO TV shows such as Camping, Vinyl, Mrs. Fletcher, and Run. The latest announcement represents the largest quantity of titles being taken off the series. In addition, 20 original HBO Max shows were taken off the platform, including the teen drama Generations, animated anthology series Infinity Train, holiday-themed related dating shows, The 12 Dates of Christmas, and Sesame Street spin-off, The Not Too Late Show with Elmo. Honestly, they could have put that out of its misery a long time ago, and I would not be any worse for wear. It's currently unclear, though, whether they will be available on DVD or rental services, or if their removal will result in them becoming completely inaccessible. I'm going to go with completely inaccessible. Now, Infinity Train, the creator might strike a deal with somebody, or there might be a production company that might come at them and say, hey, like Mill Creek Entertainment or something might come at them and say, hey, we want to have this. Who has the rights to this? They can look into this and go, okay, well, because let's say that, let me use Infinity Train here as an example. Let's say Infinity Train It's no longer owned. The Cartoon Network doesn't have it anymore, which is why they had to get rid of it. HBO Max doesn't have it, and all the rights go right back to the creator. Okay, so the creator could then put, quote, their stuff on a private system like YouTube or something like that. Now, these DVD publishing companies and these Blu-ray companies and that could come to them and say, hey, according to our lawyers, from what they've looked into, you're the only one anymore that has, the rights to this. We want we would like to put this out on DVD. We'd like to negotiate. Then they have an opportunity to say yes or no to this. They could easily look at streaming services like Tubi, Crackle, and stuff like that and say, hey, they could come to them and say, hey, we want your stuff on our platform. We're willing to pay you for it because it's not under contract anymore by Company A that had a death grip on it. You have the sole rights to it. We'd like to talk about this. So that's a positive thing. It could be more accessible. Now, it may not be right away because there might be a clause with them ending their contract that, hey, we can't put this out anywhere. But seeing as they're getting rid of the stuff and it's not going to be on their network anymore and they're already getting the shit for it not being on there, there's a good chance that they're probably not going to deny them putting it up on like YouTube or something. It's just not going to be like on the official, let's say, Cartoon Network YouTube anymore, but it'll be on, they can set up their own YouTube and put it up. So like there could be an official Infinity Train YouTube channel where they will put it up. So there is that. So minus any unspecified select group of Sesame Street specials, the complete list of titles removed is as follows. As of, when did this article come out? As of Thursday. Okay? No, as of Wednesday. Sorry, that was close. As of Wednesday. HBO Max original series, The 12 Dates of Christmas, About Last Night, Aquaman, King of Atlantis, which honestly, that's perfectly fine by me. I thought that was fucking stupid to begin with. Close Enough, Ellen's Next Great Designer, Esme and Roy, The Fungies, Generation Hustle, Generation, Infinity Train, Little Ellen, My Mom, Your Dad, Odo, Ravi Patel's Pursuit of Happiness, Summer Camp Island, The Not Too Late Show with Elmo, The Runaway Bunny, Theodosia, Tig and Seek, and Yabba Dabba Dinosaurs. I can just imagine what Yabba Dabba Dinosaurs was. I think that was a Flintstone thing. So, that's what's been taken off. Now, Infinity Train, that's a blow. Close Enough, that's a blow. However, that opens them up to be put up somewhere else, where it's more easily accessible and where you're not hampered by restrictions. Because remember, Cartoon Network didn't want another season of Infinity Train because, quote, it was getting too emotional, too dark for them to have one for the time span. Hey, now you're back to having the rights to it. Nobody else has it. You can crowdfund the fuck out of this, and you believe me, you actually might get more for that. So you never know. HBO Originals, you have My Dinner with Hervey and Cher from Cartoon Network. Okay? This is the stuff that's gone from Cartoon Network now. And in all honesty, the one thing on here, I'm just so happy this finally got killed. This is what had to kill this. Uncle Grandpa. This is what finally killed this. And I'm just happy about that. But you have Dodo, Elliot from Earth, Mau Mau, Heroes of Pure Heart, Mighty Magiswords, OKKO, Let's Be Heroes, Uncle Grandpa, like I said, and Victor and Valentino. Yes, this does suck. Mostly because OKKO wasn't that bad, Mau Mau from the clips that I saw wasn't bad, and Mighty Magiswords wasn't bad. Uncle Grandpa, though, can burn in hell. However, they did have some acquired titles, which I guess are also gone too. Yep. So you had Detention Adventure, Messi Goes to Hokkaido, Mai's Magic Playground, The Ollie and Moon Show, Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, Make It Big, Make It Small, and Squish. And in all honesty, the only sad part about that would be Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, but to be fair, That I kind of feel like ran its course when it was on Disney XD. I kind of feel like that ran its course. So, not exactly a love lost there. I kind of feel like that one ran its course. But yeah, so they're just like dumping shit left, right, and sideways. Like I said, they dumped about 200 old Sesame Street episodes are gone. Fans in the internet are just blowing the hell up over this. They're not happy about it. Do I feel for them? Do I understand where they're going for? Yes, I do. But at the same time, keep in mind, there's not really much we can do about it. This is economics 101 when it comes to merging. When you merge A and B, C has to go. Or if you merge A and C, B has to go. You know, that's sadly business. It's economics 101. It's just, there's always going to be stuff that's going to fall on the cutting room floor. There's always stuff that's going to fall to the wayside. There's always stuff that has to be let go. I mean, imagine it this way. Imagine if Apple and Microsoft would actually merge together. Then shudder at that thought for about 5 seconds. I'm sorry, that, and I mean like fully merged. I'm not talking like partial where it's like, oh, hey, I'm talking like a full merger. God, just, I feel unclean all of a sudden. Like, I feel like I just swam in sewage just saying that. Anyway, consider it that way, and there's a good chance that, while yes, it sucks, this is what's going to happen. You know, you're going to end up losing employees. You're going to end up losing some stuff that everybody liked. Stuff has to be let go ad infinitum. It's just what happens. It's business. It's business 101. It's economics. So, yeah. All right. Hunter x Hunter. I know we know this. I have a couple Hunter licenses at home. I love these things. I have a few of those. I love them. Hunter x Hunter has been this humongous series for the longest time. The author has never shied away about the many hiatuses that have come about because of their health issues. Which, first off, I really appreciate it when creators are fully trans fucking parent when it comes to issues that they're having. That shows that, look, we're not going to sugarcoat it. I'm the same way. If I don't want you to know something, you're not going to know it. If I don't mind sharing something, I'll tell you. If I'm having a personal issue, I'm not going to come out and tell you what my personal issue is if I don't want you to know what it is. If it's something that I want to deal with on my own, or I have to deal with on my own, I will take care of it. I'm not going to spill it to the world and say, hey, I'm having a problem with XBC here, or something like that. So, yeah, but if it's something that, I want everybody to know, it's like, hey, I'm going to tell you because it's going to affect, what you see of me. Yeah, if it's like, hey, I'm not getting enough sleep or something, I'll let you know. If it's, hey, I have a disease or something, and I, really want to let you know because I feel like I should tell you, I'll tell you. If I don't want you to know, if I don't want anybody to know, I'm not going to tell them. That's just the way I am. I'm fully transparent on stuff that I don't mind everybody knowing. If it's something that I want to keep to myself, I will keep it to myself. So, there is that. But fans of the Hunter x Hunter manga have been keeping track of the series' many hiatuses over the years. The manga has been off and on for a very good reason. Author Yoshihiro Togashi, also known for Yu Yu Hakusho and more, has been suffering from debilitating health issues, and he gave his followers an update on Twitter this week. While it's tough, though, to hear about his poor health, hopefully this will shed further light on the difficulties that he is facing on a daily basis. In the tweet, Togashi said, "My symptoms have not improved, and I had to spend a great deal of time in treatment and recovery. Last month, in addition to confirming he was unable to sit in a chair and advising everyone to take care of their backs, Togashi explained, I still had to take a shower every time I took a crap because I could not get into a position to wipe my butt. Every movement takes 3 to 5 times longer than usual." Literally, that's exactly what he said. The upside, though, he has been sharing his progress on the Hunter x Hunter manga, and it seems as if he's doing so at his own pace. His latest tweet added that the backgrounds for Chapter 399 are currently in the works. As for when it will return, we'll just have to wait until he's ready to make that announcement. It's basically, look, I know you've been patient. I know you're putting up with a lot of stuff, but this is what's going on right now with me. I'm doing this at my own speed for a reason. I appreciate it, like I said, when creators and that are fully transparent with this is what's going on. Like I said, if I'm having like a problem, like let's say I had a disease or something and I couldn't do my YouTube videos every week, I would come out and say, hey, this is going on with me right now. I'm not able to do my videos. I'll let you know. I'm not going to like dive into the heavy personal stuff. Now, if it's like, let's say 2-3 months down the road and I put out like maybe 2 videos in that time. And everybody's like, well, when is this coming back? When is this coming back? What the hell's going on? They start like making wild theories and accusations. Then I would come out and go, okay, look, this is what's going on with me on a daily basis. Then I would go a little more in detail just to give an idea. Not everybody does that, and I really do appreciate it when creators are, transparent like this. You're coming out and you're saying, hey, this is what's going on. You're letting them into your private hell, basically. I did this back in 2020 when my grandfather was in the hospital, and I let everybody know, hey, my mom and I might be homeless. There may not be a video anymore. I may not have my YouTube channel up anymore. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I want everybody to know, hey, if something happens to me and you're not seeing any more videos up anymore, there might be a reason why. This is why. I'm not going to come out and say, well, this is how we're going to go with this. This is all you're going to get. Or I'm going to lie and come up with like a BS reason. I'm going to come out and I'll tell you, hey, this is what's going on. If you want to know more information, I'll tell you if I feel like it's prudent. If I don't want you to know, it's fine. Most of the time, you could just tell them, hey, this is the personal issue I'm dealing with right now. We're having problems at home with this and this and this, which is making it a little more difficult to do this, this, and this. So if it's not going to come up for a while, please bear with me. And the majority of the time, that will suit fans. But some cases, it just isn't enough. And it makes sense that it won't be, but it just isn't. But hopefully, like I said, I do feel for him. Hopefully things do improve for him. But yeah, it does suck. It has to. But yeah, at least he's being transparent about it, which is a good thing. I have to commend him on that one. I really do. All right, Tiger and Bunny 2 is sharing their new visuals for the next set of episodes, which is now on Netflix. Get the fuck out of anime, you bastards! Get the fuck out of it. So, there's another good series, Shot the Hell. In all honesty, I really hate to say this. I really do hate to say this. First off, I like the Pac-Man logo on a Wild Tigers suit. I really do like that. That's funny. Get the fuck out of anime, Netflix. Just get the fuck out of it. This is one that could probably actually work as and I really hate to say it this way, it could work as a live-action series, but I wouldn't want to see it. But it could actually work as one, provided you do it justice and you literally make it a rendition of the actual series. You don't try to sugarcoat this shit. They won't, though. No. The second part of Tiger and Bunny 2 is set to premiere on Netflix starting October 7th. With a new set of visuals that have arrived to tease the continuation. This one is about as straightforward as it gets, so check out another look at Wild Tiger and Barnaby posing below while you wait for the second season to continue. First off, I hate when Netflix does this. I really do. Fuck that shit. Fuck it to hell. Then again, I hate Netflix in general. The anime takes place after the film Tiger and Bunny, the movie, The Rising, and has a main cast back in action. It's being produced by Bandai Namco Pictures. Of course it is, because Barnaby's fucking has Bandai's logo splattered right across his chest. Bandai. Yeah, come on. We know who's behind this one. With Atsuko Kisei of Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory working as a director. It's actually pretty good because Stardust Memory wasn't bad. Masafumi Nishida, who has previously worked on the franchise, is back to both write and supervise the scripts. This is Netflix's description of the anime. And it is not accurate in the least. Okay? Not even close. Fighting for peace and their sponsors, the odd couple of Wild Tiger and Barnaby continue to work as superheroes. But with the number of superheroes increasing around the world, how will these two veterans fare? Okay. So, first off, that really does suck. You're giving a description of your season that you have access to. The entire series itself is basically, think My Hero Academia and put it here. People have this little genetic power that they can use. It's different depending on who you are. Some people can make fire. Some people can blow air. Some people can turn ice. You can make ice, turn water crystals, what have you. The first season was just so fucking beautiful. But Wild Tiger and Barnaby Jones, and that's actually he was like, oh, he's Barnaby, but I think it was Barnaby Jones is what they were calling him. Well, I know it's Jones and Barnaby, so it's just basically Barnaby they call him. Anyway, they both have the same power. I think it was called 100. Yeah, it was 100 power. So basically, what this is it increases their strength, their speed, their hearing, everything 100-fold, and it only lasts for X amount of time, and then their body can't do it again for a while. Unfortunately, Wild Tiger, in the first season, noticed that all of a sudden his power massively increased, like tremendously. At one point, he was running after some person, activated his 100 power, because, again, it's time limit, and it just erupted. Like, he had almost 1,000 times more strength, speed, and power than he had beforehand. The boss that he had for where he used to work at before it was bought out by another company, because obviously that's how this is going to work in this series, overheard this as he's driving a cab, slams on the brakes and realizes, oh crap, he knows what's going on. Because a similar hero, ironically, one that Wild Tiger was inspired by, had a similar thing happen to him, where the powers burn out. Where all of a sudden they start massively increasing, and then that's it. They have no more effect. They can never be used again. So this is sadly what it is. And in Tiger and Bunny the Rising, he basically came back as Wild Tiger. I think it was like 30 seconds, where he could only maintain his power for like less than a minute. Or was Wild Tiger 3 minutes or something? I don't know. He couldn't maintain the power for the full time. I think it was like an hour originally, and he couldn't maintain the power for a full time. So basically, it's your All Might in a way. Because when I was still working at Five Below, there was a coworker the one time we were discussing anime, and he's like, "Yeah, you should watch My Hero Academia." I'm like, "Yeah, you should watch Tiger and Bunny." And I'm explaining what Tiger and Bunny is. He explained to me what My Hero Academia was, the main plot for that. He goes, "What about Tiger and Bunny?" He said, "That's pretty much similar to My Hero Academia. What the hell?" And I'm like literally looking at him confused, and I'm like, "That's literally the same plot." I said, "The only difference is that these heroes are sponsored by corporations and everything else, and yeah, but it's basically the same fucking plot. Only there's no school. It's just a series. It's just a city, but the heroes compete on a TV show to earn points, stopping crime. So, yeah. It's still a good show. It's not bad. It's interesting. But, yeah, it's nice that it's got the second season still going. But why Netflix? Why Netflix? Fuck Netflix. Fuck Netflix to hell. Why them? Like I said, good series. Shot to hell. This actually was one that I think could work for live action. And I hate to say that. But they would have to make it exactly like it is. Do not pull that. And I'm going to say this. Do not pull the Cowboy Bebop. Do not pull the Death Note. Do not fucking pull One Piece. If you follow the anime exactly as it went, you'd be fine. It could work. It wouldn't, but it could. Could. This portion of the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast is brought to you by Simple Design by Andrew. Hi, friends. I'm Andrew, owner and creator of Simple Design by Andrew on Etsy. Have you always wanted to have your own DIY invitations, but you don't have the design skills to do it? Or did you ever just want to have a homemade birthday card, but again, you just don't have the time and effort to make it and design one yourself? Well, come check out my Etsy shop, Simple Design by Andrew. I mean, it all says it in the name. Simple designs for our complex world. Because let's face it, nothing's simple anymore. No, not in the least. I have a wide variety of stuff on there. Well, 18 items as of now, but it's wide if you actually think about it. Because a lot of them are customizable templates. Like wedding invitations, a wedding invitation set, a resume. Hell, I even have birthday cards you can print out for mom and funny birthday card for monster fans. Or just really anybody in general that likes cute monsters. There's also coloring books and an Etsy SEO prep sheet. For when you want to start your own Etsy shop. It's actually not a bad idea. But anyway, come check that out. It's Simple Design by Andrew. There's a link in the description. Check it out. Don't forget, hey, I'm Andrew, and this is my own plug YouTube, so I'm my own sponsor. Alright, so the next part here, hope everybody liked my ad. This has been a long time question I've actually been wondering. So, they have now found a way to calculate a game's true value from its price and its length. First off, holy shit. This is the clearest way to remove subjectivity and bias from game reviews. Yeah, game reviews, that's what we're going to call it on. As we all know, video games are judged on 4 criteria: the graphics, the gameplay familiarity, the price, and the length. But oftentimes, the video games media conflates such objective judgments with corrupting elements of so-called artistic value and cultural impact. Not to mention corporate greed, paying off the reviewers, giving them a free review copy and $50 under the table, what have you. With games like the recently released but woefully brief, well under 20 hours, Cult of the Lamb receiving inexplicably auditory scores, something needs to be done. So forget all that crap. With this handy guide, we can help you never need to look at a review or Metascore again. We're gonna screw them over, baby! Yeah! So let's follow along, folks. So too many arguments always raised across Twitter, possibly TikTok, Facebook groups, Reddit posts, what have you, regarding the nature of the game's value. Some people, sadly, though, have more recently started to be swayed by ratings about the game's emotional response upon the player's psyche, or whatever pop psych mumbo jumbo bumbo crap they're coming up with. But to avoid all this BS, Kotaku has worked out the ideal formatic formula for rating the games based on their true worth. So here we go. Remember, though, games are primarily based on how good they are. If everything's working properly, a $70 game, which is ironically and astronomically fucking highway robbery, but I'm not going to get into that, is around twice as good as a $35 game. That's bullshit. Sometimes the cheaper games are a lot more fun. Although, of course, this is not exact. It's not an exact science. Percentages might be a few points off here and there. But what about when a game gets discounted in a sale long after the release? You might ask, you're forgetting that as games get older, they lose value and importance, and this is therefore reflected in the pricing. To that I have to say fuck you, because in all honesty, there's a lot of games that when they get discounted, a lot more people get their hands on them because they weren't willing to spend $70 to try it. Hey, the game's $20 now? I'll buy it. But the more important question here is, what do we mean by good? And that is an important one, because it's here that so many sites will allow subjectivity to creep in when reviewing games. Fortunately, our measurement requires no such invasion of one's personal opinions, but rather the cold, precise accuracy of mathematics. Math, your forever enemy. It's always mine. So let's break this down. Game length divided by price times the number of employees at the developer. Seriously? Yeah. Some of the previously seen arguments saying that the method of judging a game should simply be based on that game's length divided by the price system, with the higher the number, the better the game. But this leaves a whole bitch of a system to basically be bitch slapped into oblivion. Games are basically subjugated to a whole bunch of abuse because of this, and it fails to properly reflect this. So it might seem a fair way to do things, but when you're considering a game like Far Cry 6, where you'd be dividing 25 by 60 and getting a stunning score of 0.42, but say some indie developers came along and made a 15-hour RPG and sold it for $3, and you'd get a score of 3. The whole system falls apart. When people cheat with incredibly low prices. Listen, Walmart, you might learn something. Yeah, I had to. I'm sorry, I had to. I just had to. I had to. I'm sorry. It was wide open. Yeah. This is resolved by multiplying any score by the number of people who worked at the game, or worked on the game, as in recognition of the greater quality that comes from AAA development. In this case, our solo-developed indie game stays at 3, but Far Cry 6 gets a more realistic 1,999. You can see the importance that this has. Yes. 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 No, I can't. This allows you to put recent games like Cult of the Lambs into perspective after some recent controversy with a lot of Workaddy games journalists screaming and crying about a Steam review that was brave enough to call out its paltry 17-hour runtime. Hey, I played a game for the PS2 called Zone of the Enders, okay? I beat that game in 1 weekend. Hell, I could have beat that in one night. I started that at 7:30 that night. I could have probably finished that game by 10 o'clock. Okay? I'm not even joking. You want to know a sad part? I played the Yu Yu Hakusho Game Boy Advance game, Spirit Detective Yu Yu Hakusho. I wanted it for Christmas the one year. It got to the point I could beat that game in 2 hours. I'm not even joking. I could beat that thing in 2 hours. Yeah. Yeah, you heard me. So, 17-hour runtime. At $24-ish with a 3-man development team that recognizes Cult of Lamb as the 2.1 game it truly is. Now, the candy developers at Supergiant figured out how to get around the limitations of their small team by not only making their game Hades nigh infinite replayability, but also cheating the sum with the suggestion of being a Supergiant studio, even though they don't get a huge multiplier on the number of employees at developer. Yeah. They successfully deceived enough people into thinking that the game is better than it possibly can be just by exaggerating the size of their team. However, such expectations are few and far between. With this truly objective and fact-based method of scoring games, it allows us to see where real value can be found, where proper games like Rainbow Six Extraction and Balan Wonderworld score in the thousands, but these ridiculous progressive belly-button inspecting art games are recognized as the single-digit games they are, especially if you have to terminally challenge the double figures, or terminally charge in double figures. One massive issue I have with this. Alright, so here we go. So your entire formula is the game length divided by the price times the number of employees at developer. So, if I create a game that's, let's say, it'll take you 3 weeks to a month to beat. So, how many hours in a month? Let's do their little math here, okay? How many hours in a month? How many hours are in a month? Okay, so you have 730.001. So we're just gonna call it 730 hours. So let's do their little math here. Let's figure out this math here. So 730 hours. So 730 hours. Try not to hit my microphone cable here because I think it's starting to get a little loose. So 730 hours, and we divide that. Let's say I'm going to charge, I don't know. I'm going to be generous because I want this to get out there for a lot of people. I'm going to charge $5 for it. And we multiply that by 1, and that gives me a score of 146. So I created a game that's going to take you at least a month to beat, if not more. And you're upset because I'm only one person. I'm developing this. The number of employees is a developer. Me, one, single, uno. I created this game. I'm charging $5 for it. It's going to take at least 730 hours to beat it. And I have a score of 146. So you're saying that based off of this formula, because there are games that can be made a one-person game. They could have been doing this, you know, they could have been spending like a good year to 3 years making this solo on their own. It's going to take 730 hours to beat. And they're going to get a score of 146. So off of your system, my game would still suck in comparison to the AAA title games. I know you can't see it, but I'm flipping you the bird. Okay? Look, I get it. You want games to be longer, okay? You want games to be longer, you want games to be enjoyable, you want games to have more fun. At the end of the goddamn day, folks, you have to realize something. There are times when the shorter games are a nice distraction. They're a break. If you're spending $70 for a brand new AAA title game when it comes out, and it's like, look, I need something to cleanse my palate. I need something to relax. I need something to breathe. I've just been spending the last, month and a half playing, Dynasty X5 97 or something. And here's a $24 game. It's going to be 17 hours long. It's a nice little break. You're basically spending about 25-ish bucks, give or take with tax or something, to relax. Playing games to you might be relaxing. You just want something that's different, out of the ordinary, that you've never played before. It might suck, it might be short, but at the same time, it's relaxing. That's what the whole point of it is. But I just get a kick out of that. So based off your system, if it would take you a month to beat my game, and I'm the only employee, and I would charge you $5 for this thing, I would get a measly score, 146, by your thing. So your thing would still say that my game sucks. Fuck you. Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. Big time. That is stupid as hell. You want a good way to calculate a game's true value? How about how much time you spend playing it, divided by how much it cost, multiply that by how long you've been playing it, or better yet, how about you figure out, okay, this is how much I paid for it, so it's, let's say, again, here, let me do this again. Let me pull up a calculator again. Let's go with, let's say I paid $70 for a brand new game. And I've been playing that brand new game for a whopping, 280 hours? 280 hours. That gives me basically about 25 cents an hour. Now, Does that seem fair to you? Well, no, in a way. I kind of don't feel like that, but let's figure this way out. Times that by how many days are in 280 hours. So I should clear that. Hold on a second. So 280 hours, and we divide that by 24 hours in a day. That gives us... Seriously? Alright, let me try that again. Divided by 280... Okay, about 8 days. That sounds... No, it still doesn't sound right. Oh, who cares? Basically, figure out how many days that is, and then you divide that by your thing. Well, how many days were you playing it? Because keep in mind, you're not going to be playing it straight through all those days. Let's figure out how many... There's a better formula, basically, is what I'm saying. You know, my math may not work, but there's a better formula out there to figure it out. Their formula of hours divided by price times number of developers is stupid. Because you're basically telling the indie game developers that are spending their time and effort making these games. Yes, they might suck, but they're doing this to get feedback to understand what they can improve upon, you jackasses. You're basically telling them, this game sucks, fuck yourself. That's not a good way to go, pal. It's not a good way to go at all. But, yeah, no. There's a better... Somebody find a better system. I'm too tired to figure out. Somebody find a better system. Alright, voice actors always come and go. You have the ones that have been doing the roles for so long, they're so iconically tied to them, especially over in Japan. Goku's voice actress, like, I swear to God, if she would ever just croak, like, the moment she dies, that's it. Franchise is dead. Because you will never find anybody that will be able to fill her shoes. Never. And she's getting up there, too, in age. I mean, she is getting up there. She gets royalties, too, from this stuff. And you know how much Dragon Ball stuff there is out in the world? Holy shit, she gets royalties from that. But anyway, the voice actress of Mayumi Tanaka wants to conclude her career with voicing Luffy. She is the Japanese voice actress for Luffy. She has voiced quite a few characters in her life. So she has quite the IMDb history here, but... some of the big names she's done, she was Luffy, or she's Luffy in One Piece. She was Krillin in Dragon Ball franchise. In Urusei Yatsura, she was Ryunosuke Fujinami, and so many more. But she has a special place in her heart, though, for Luffy, whom she's been playing for about half her career, 44 years. Apparently, like, she's been, from right about this, like, for her career's like 44 years long, and she's been doing him for half of that. So, Jesus Christ, that's massive. During a recent interview, though, with 7 Rules, a variety show, she remarked, "I voiced many young boy characters in my time, and I want to conclude my work in the voice acting industry with Luffy. Even putting aside the question of whether I can still voice young boys after this, I feel like I've accomplished everything I ever wanted to do with that sort of role," which does make sense. One Piece has been so long-lasting that in 2019, she had commented, "I might not even be alive by the time it ends. When the time comes, they hope that One Piece fans can accept the person that I choose as my successor." So, in other words, if she decides, hey, I'm not going to make it to the end of this series because Oda's just riding this bandwagon into the fucking ground here, it's like, we're going to make sure that we, I hope the fans will accept whoever I have as my successor. Seeing as we had a similar issue with Hiromi Suru, the one that did the voice of Bulma when she tragically passed, I don't think the fans would be too upset about it. Because they will, in all honesty, since it's the main character and it's one that's so iconically known, they will try to find somebody that is as close to you as possible. If not, find somebody that can just imitate you spot on perfectly. And if they can, they will just take that one. Then again, there might be like a subtle change. So like, let's say something were to happen, it could be like, yeah, it's just a subtle change. It's fine. They may not even notice it. But yeah. However, creator Ichiro Oda has alluded to the fact that he will be finishing up the manga soon. That doesn't mean shit for the anime, jackass, but then again, at this point, you actually are getting royalties from the anime and from the manga sales, so yeah, you don't really give a shit, do you? See, that's the sad part. When you actually do have a hit over there, like the mangakais that have a hit, they actually do make some decent money when they have a hit. If you have a series that, let's take One Piece here, for example, over 1,000 chapters, yeah, you could pretty much walk into Shueisha and go, I'm Ichiro Oda. Oh my god, it's Oda-sensei. We are not worthy. We are not worthy. Yeah, that's right. Bow, damn it. Bow, damn it. I don't mean to be like that, but you get the point. When you have a series that's lasted that fucking long, there's a good chance you could just walk right in someplace. They know you. It's like, here's a free beer. You want some coffee? You want us to just, get some of the lowly employees to just, sit on their hands and knees, and then you, sit on their backs, and they just take you to the next place? Because we'll do that. I don't mean to be insensitive to anybody, but that's, when you get to, that point, it's like, that's kind of like the air you kind of feel in some cases, but Oda's not that, cynical of a bastard, by the way, but you get my point. Yeah, but he has not alluded to the fact that he will be finishing up the manga soon, so that ought to mean the anime won't be too far behind. Nah, here's the thing. Where the anime is at now, not counting the filler episode that we had last week that I didn't watch, tying into One Piece film Red, which is, I'm hoping not continued into this week because I really don't give a shit about the movie. I really don't. There's a good chance that, okay, let's say, let's throw this example here. Let's say there's a 40 chapter difference between where the manga currently is and where the anime currently is. And let's say that they can animate 3 chapters into 3 chapters into one episode. Or 2 chapters into one episode. You have about 20 episodes till it catches up, give or take. Hence why we have filler episodes all the time. So, let's say Oda finishes the anime. Okay? Or let's say, not the anime, let's say he finishes up the manga. And let's say the gap between where the manga officially ends and where the anime is say, 75 chapters. If you're able to do 2 chapters an episode, you're gonna have a while to go. At least a year, maybe 3. So it's not unheard of or uncommon for this to be, well, it's almost done. Yeah, the manga's almost done. To be fair, he has made this claim for the last how many years now? I'm so close to finishing the manga. The manga's soon going to be done. I'm so close to finishing the manga. It's in the final stages now. Of course, now we know it's actually true because he has come out and said it. He even showed some teaser of I my notes. You can't read them, but I'm almost done. It's almost finished. See, it does make sense. But does that mean that she's going to be retiring soon? Probably. One Piece is, though, the most successful manga series ever, and Viz Media gave the description of the first volume as follows. As a child, Monkey D. Luffy was inspired to become a pirate by listening to the tales of the buccaneer red-haired Shanks. But his life changed when Luffy accidentally ate the Gum Gum Devil Fruit and gained the power to stretch like rubber, at the cost of never being able to swim again. Years later, still vowing to become the king of the pirates, Luffy set out on his adventure, one guy alone in a rowboat, in search of the legendary One Piece, said to be the greatest treasure of the world. Now, for those of you that actually want to know how it actually goes, Gold D. Roger was supposedly the king of the pirates. And he traveled the world with his crew, of which Red Hair was a member of, as well as Buggy and, Silver's Rayleigh and a whole bunch of other people. But he was captured. Garp, Luffy's grandfather, captured him. And he told Garp, take care of my son. I have a son. I didn't even know it. Take care of him for me, would you? After everything that we've been back and forth and all that fun stuff. But he was basically killed at the gallows. And I'm trying to remember the name of the town. I think it was Logtown. I think it was Logtown or Logantown or something. But he was killed on the gallows, and he made the comment. And yes, I'm going off of the 4Kids dub here, but sad part is if you actually look at the original of it, it's the same thing, basically. He told everybody, because Whitebeard had to make the announcement at Marineford, he told them that the One Piece is real. So, the legendary One Piece. According to Goldie Roger, he said, if you want my treasure, you can have it. But you're going to have to search for it first. Because I left everything I own in one piece. So they're looking for the One Piece. And when a lot of pirates were just like, no, we're done looking for it. We're done. Fuck this. It's just a myth. It's not real. But we're going to strike out and just make a life for ourselves. And the Navy started to become a bit of an asshole about it. At Marineford, when they were having their war there, which then became known as the Paramount War, Whitebeard, who was dying because of Blackbeard, made the comment to reignite everybody's faith because he was one of the last of the old generations, the only other ones being Kaido and Big Mom, who will be meeting their end. Spoiler, by the way. He was one of the last of the old generation, came right out and said, the One Piece is real. Because the thing was, Goldie Roger was actually going to tell him where the One Piece was. And he's like, I don't want it. I just wanted a family. And I have that. I don't want treasure. I don't want fame. I just wanted a family. But Goldie Roger's like, I'll tell you where the One Piece is. I'll tell you exactly where it is. You can have it. It's all yours. Nope. I'm content with what I have. I'm just curious at this point what the fucking One Piece is. There's been like so many fan speculations of it. I love the joke that's like, watch him get to Laugh Tale, which is apparently where it's supposed to be, and it's just friendship. It's just like a letter that's left by Goldie Roger, and it basically says, the One Piece is the adventures that you've made and the friends you've met along the way. And that's the entire One Piece. There's nothing there. It's just like, there's nothing? What do you mean there's nothing? What do you mean there's nothing here? That would be funny. But yeah, no, it's probably something. Personally, me, I kind of think it's something that ties in with the erased history, Joy Boy, and everything else. So there is a mystery to this, and Oda has been really good about this mystery. Hell, in fact, Oda, here's an idea for you. If you want another idea for a manga to do when One Piece is done, might I suggest a small little mystery story or something? Because you're fucking good at that. You're good. You are good at leaving breadcrumbs. Galore here. But it's not bad. But yeah, it's going to end at some point. Everything has to. And this is one of the last remaining old school anime. Remember, you had the big four for the longest time in the world of shonen. You had Dragon Ball Z, you had Naruto, you had Dragon Ball, I have to count all of it. Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Dragon Ball and Naruto are basically done or have spun off into their own little sequels, i.e. Dragon Ball Super, which is now pissing people off. But then again, when I heard what was pissing them off, it makes sense to me why they would go this route, so don't be upset by it, it makes sense. Boruto, obviously, Boruto is obviously the spin-off of Naruto, and the first half of it did suck ass, and it's slowly getting better, but it had a long slog to get to that point. Bleach, we're finally getting the 1,000-Year Blood War, which is apparently going to be going to Disney+. God help us all. I'll have to do a rant on that, like I promised I would if it was ever confirmed. Hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's pretty much looking that way. And then you just have One Piece as the last of the remaining ones. So, yeah, it makes sense. But hopefully it'll go for a little while longer. I'm actually estimating just maybe 2030 it'll probably be done. Maybe 2030. I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, it might, maybe 2030. I don't know, but yeah. It is what it is. Hopefully it'll last a little longer, but we're getting into the final act here, I guess, or the final arc, so who knows? Alright then, everybody, that's going to do it this week for the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. Thank you all for tuning in and being here. It's been a lot of fun. Don't forget to check out my Etsy page, or my Etsy shop, Simple Design by Andrew. There's a link in the description to it. There's also a link to the t-shirt place over there on Spring, both of which will help support me. And ironically, and the channel, if you think about it, the Spring thing too, because I'll get profit on that, but it'll help support the channel. Etsy will just be nice to even just get one sale so I can start kicking that thing off. Not even a freaking sale. I've been doing this for over a month and not even a sale. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But yeah, there is that. We do have a Patreon, patreon.com/webdesigner18. There is a Ko-fi page. We have the Facebook page, webdesigner18. Don't forget, you can follow me over on Twitter, How to Take Your Roads. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. There is still the GoFundMe up yet. I plan on doing a little update to that thing next couple days. So yeah, everything's looking pretty well, hunky-dory, I guess. But all things considered, please, spread the word around about my stuff. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. And I'm checking out, folks. I will catch you all next time here on the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. Bye, everybody.